Hey guys, welcome back to the RPG Maker engine tutorial. Today we're going to be covering conditional branches. Last video tutorial we went over the variables and switches and the timer events. So let's just get to it. If you go to the event commands here on page 3, you'll see the conditional branch option, and the conditional branch is kind of like an if-then statement or an if-else statement for those who may be familiar with coding. So this window right here has 2 pages, and a lot of these options deal mainly with the database. A few of them deal with actual switch and variable entries, so we went over switches and variables last time. If I have the condition set to switch and double click that, I can choose whichever entry I wish to use, so we can create a new one here as well. So and I'm just kind of improvising here and going along. So I just created a new switch conditional option, and we're going to set this condition to that switch, and we're going to toggle this to on. Hit OK. So now what this is basically doing is checking to see if the switch conditional option, and you can name it whatever you want once again, if it's on. If it is on, then so let's make a new message or something. Hello. The following lines here after the branch if switch line will occur. If conditional options is off, then everything following the else handler line will occur. And what you can actually do is, if you want to check if the switch is solely on, you can actually go to this window right here under option. You can deselect execute custom handler if condition is not met. If you hit OK, you'll see that the else statement is no longer there, so it no longer checks to see if the switch is off. We'll turn that back on for now and paste. So this is a very simple conditional branch. We have a message being displayed if this switch is on. If the switch is not on, then we have a different message being displayed. And we'll set this to parallel process and wait until the key is pressed. And wait until key is pressed would basically wait until, I believe, Z or enter has been pressed. Let's play this. Okay, so later that message appears because conditional option, this switch right here, has not been turned on, so that message appeared. And that's basically how conditions work. You have a ton of options that you can kind of play around with. So we just went over the switch option. You also can use variables. So if hero HP is, for example, let's set the number to 100. If it's equal to 100, then hello would play, the message hello would appear. If it was equal to a value other than 100, so 99 or less, and 101 or more, then this message would appear. Let's do something different. Instead of a message appearing, let's have a flash screen. So if you go to page 2, you can flash the screen. These are the options here. We'll change the color to, say, green. So you want to tone down the red and blue, keep the green at its peak value, and we'll do a begin flashing instead of flash once. We'll do a begin flashing, and we'll have it flash for 0.5 of a second. It's fine. If the value is anything other than 100, nothing will occur. Actually, let's switch that. So if the value is 100, nothing happens. If the value is anything other than 100, the screen will flash red. So last minute change. I also want to get rid of these messages, so I'll change that to action key. And you can see the screen is, flashing non-stop because the value is not 100 for this variable hero HP. If we want to do something more realistic, we can either add a wait command, or we can go here and do a flash once, hit OK. Now you can see that it's flashing for 0.5 of a second, and it's doing so on a loop. Okay, so this might be this example might be good if you have your own custom battle system, and say the hero's HP is, say by default it's 100, it goes down to 5, so you would actually have it be less than or equal to. So if it's 5 or below, then you set the flash screen here and set that to a loop to kind of indicate that the hero is low on health. So that would be one way to use these conditions. Another thing you can do is use the timers. We went over timers last time. Say the timer is 10 minutes, then anything that follows this branch, if timer 1 is 10 minutes, a line would occur. So you can use timers in that sense. Money has to do with the database, so at least say you have in your database, you increase the party's money by say 10 gold or something like that. So if it's at least 10 gold, then whatever follows would occur. You can also set it to less than 10 gold, so if it's 10 or below, then whatever follows in this section would occur. Page 2, items has to do with the database. So these are all the items that come default in the RPG Maker Engine's database, and you can set the options to whether the party has the item or does not have the item. Hero, these are all the heroes in your database. Our very first one, Cloud Ninja. And then if you double click here, you can check to see if the hero is in the party. If this would be like checking an if then for a string. So if his name is Cloud Ninja, which it is, then let's say so what's another option we can do? Let's say a battle animation would be shown on screen. So, something like that. Okay, we'll hit OK there. And if we play now, yeah, so just to give you guys an idea, we also have his level is at least, you can set it to whatever you want, 1 to 99. HP is at least, set it to whatever you want. Can use your skills, different items that are equipable, and different conditions. So this all has to do with the database. Sprite has to do with your event. So right now where it's on hero, but you can choose whatever event is within your current map. This option won't choose from events in different maps. It's only going to sort of create that list from the events in your current map that your event is in. So hero, and then facing, if the hero is facing up, right, down, or left. Party is writing, you have 3 different vehicles that you can find in the database, so it has to do with that again. Event was started using the action key means essentially this condition is the same as saying trigger condition action key. So if you don't want this event to be triggered by an action key, you can set it to parallel process. But if you want to check consistently or constantly if the player pressed the enter key, you can do event was started using enter key. And then our last option is the BGM has played through once. So BGM once again stands for background music, and if the music that is playing on your map has run through one time, then whatever follows that line would occur. That in a nutshell is how you use conditional branches. You can do a ton of things with conditional branches. For example, if once again you're creating a action battle system, it's commonly referred to as ABS for short within the RPG Maker community, at least. Then you can use variables, and you can name different entries here, whatever you want. So variable 30 you can name like hero defense, and then when you're creating your battle system, you can see if the hero is fighting, say, a mob or an enemy, if the hero's defense is 5, greater than or equal to, then you could have another variable operation, hero HP, and we'll have subtract 0, else case or else handler, subtract 2. So say this event is this orc pig-like looking thing here, and you're creating a Zelda-like battle system. Well, if this event touches the hero, so collision with hero, then what would happen is the event would check to see what the hero's defense is. So if it's 5 or more, then the damage this event would do to the hero's health would be 0. And if it's 5 or if it's 4 or less, then it would do 2 damage to his health. So this isn't going to mean anything because we don't have the hero's HP set to say like a GUI, graphical user interface, or like a HUD, I should say. It's actually, it would be a heads-up display. I believe that's what the abbreviation is, but it's not going to do anything right now. But this is just to give you an example of what you might do with a conditional branch. So that concludes this tutorial. I know it's a bit shorter than most of the other video tutorials that I have done thus far, but please keep in mind these are the very first on YouTube, or anywhere for that matter, that I've ever really done. And it's been a bit of a learning process. I have been paying careful attention to Google Analytics and noticed that the longer my videos tend to be, the less of an interest there is throughout the course of the video. So going forward, I'm going to try to keep them as short, precise, and to the point as I can. I gave you guys enough to have an idea of what you need to do as far as working with conditional branches. I didn't want to go too much and kind of force ideas into you. I'd rather you guys be creative and let out your own creativity while working on your own games. So I hope this tutorial helped you. I look forward to seeing what you guys create after having viewed my video tutorials. If you do have a map or a game that you're working on, if my tutorials have helped you, then feel free to post a video response showing me, showing not only me but the YouTube community your work. I think that'd be a great way to kind of collaborate together. And yeah, also please consider liking and subscribing and commenting. That would help me out a lot and kind of give me a reason to come back and make another video tutorial, knowing that there are people out there who appreciate what I'm doing. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. So thanks again for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next tutorial, where I want to cover a bit of messaging and what you can do with formatting and incorporating some variables, colors, some characters, things like that. So we'll do that next time. I'll see you then.